Hi, very good morning. Thank you so much for coming to this demo session. Can you guys hear me? Can you please respond?
Yes, we can hear.
So I'll little bit brief about myself. Myself, Maitri Devalpalli, and I do have over a decade of IT experience, and currently I'm working as a project manager. So I hope you guys are familiar with Agile, Scrum, and PMP tools as well. I would like to start this session a little bit interactive as well. So if you can give me a little bit brief about yourself, that would be great. Ex- Okay, let's start with Agile and waterfall model was the big difference between it. When it comes to waterfall model, earlier we used to go with the waterfall because it is like everything will come at the end. We'll do entire process, then we can correct at the end, which used to be a little bit difficult for IT projects because there is a lot of requirement and there will be lot of improvements, and we used to redefine the definition of done and everything as well. That's why we came across agile methodologies, which is faster, iterative, and customer feedback is involved into it. So why agile? Because it is like I said, it is faster for faster delivery. Let's take an example. Let's see like constructing a living room, which is a very viable option, and we everybody knows it. What we will do is like earlier. The constructor or the architect will take our inputs and improvise throughout the thing, right? That's how we do the IT as well. When it comes to PMP, what we will do, a project manager or scrum master or product owner, all this comes under PMP rules, and these will ensure the product will go hand in hand and deliver exact results what the client and the customer are expecting. When it comes to ITSM, it is more about when there is any changes made or any incident happens while the project is happening, we use ITSM for it. It is for daily operations and daily operations and you know pretty much production stability and incident reduction. So do you have any doubts till now? Waterfall is more like we will be looking into the end product. uh, So the difference between waterfall and agile is more like waterfall is like just like we said, it's like waterfall. Once it starts, it's gonna end at the end only. There will be no more iterations. There will be no more upgrade. There will be no more changes in between. When it comes to agile, it will be like step by step. It is like a circle. We plan, we iterate, we develop, we test. If there is any modules needs to be changed, if there is any update, or probably we're gonna add any features to it, we're gonna reiterate and we go to the initiation, planning, development, testing, and production. It's gonna be the same until the product is up in the market. So it will be like plus one, plus one, plus one. See, let's take a food delivery app. Yeah. Uh, See, let's take a food delivery app like Swiggy. So if it is a waterfall model, entire application will be done in one go, like from the initiation, planning, development, production, and everything will go in one go. The testing will be done at the end. There will be no more features to be added. Whatever the client has given to us, we will develop it and we will finish it off and give it off. Then comes the client direction and client requirement again. Then we need to start it from the earlier stage, like where we need to integrate it and everything. Let's say there are many upgrades happened in between when coming to the Swiggy when it happened to till now. Earlier it used to be like only food delivery app, then it comes to Instamart and everything, right? If it is a waterfall model, we need to start from the get go. We need to plan, we need to integrate, we need to do this. But Agile is more like, dynamic. It's a dynamic coding thing. We can develop a code. There will be always iteration, scope for iteration, scope for development, scope for upgrade as well. It will be much more easier for us because Agile is based upon the iterative, like plus one, plus one, plus one. It will be every week there will be new update. Every week there will be new thing to develop it. So no, no. If it is a waterfall model, if we want to add any feature, it will be more like we need to start from the where we started the entire project. Then we need to, yeah. Then we need. Let's say waterfall is more static. Static means even the upgradation, whichever if there are any what we can say, like if there are any upgradations, if there are any error, or if there any issues comes up, we need to start it from the scratch. We need to go back. The code is there. Let's say let's take another example, like basically you are building a apartment or whatever it is. uh, you have given your inputs to the architecture and the engineer who is making it to happen. But when it comes to waterfall, let's say we are following the waterfall model. He is going to hand over the entire keys to you at the end of the project. That's it. There will be no more upgradations, no more. You will be looking at the entire display of how the flat is going on, how the interior is going to look up, right? When it comes to agile methodologies, whenever there is a little bit change, or whenever sometimes you might feel probably not gold, probably silver might suit to the living room. Probably maybe the color palette is not up to my taste. Probably there will be little bit warm colors. So these additional changes will happen in agile methodologies because the communication and the the people who are involved in this building this project will be communicative and will be giving you updates throughout the entire process has been done. When it comes to waterfall model, once everything is done, then you will get an update. So if there are any changes, if there are any upgrades, it is more feasible and more when it comes to in business point of view for any project or for any other company. Iterative means whenever the client is in line with the every 2 week sprint or 1 week sprint, whichever the company follows, there will be upgrades, there will be inputs from the client every 2 weeks or 1 week, depends upon the sprint cycle they are following it. So it will be more useful for us because there will be back and forth feedback coming up, and we will be having that feedback, and it will be more useful for us to develop in that way. अच्छा मंडल.
Yeah. So what
Yeah.
are the advantages and what are the disadvantages?
When it comes to advantages, like I said, it is when it comes to company point of view, operational wise and resource implementation wise, Agile is more versatile and more cost saving method rather than waterfall model. Waterfall model is like if client or a customer has any update, it's supposed to wait till the end. Then we need to start it from the scratch. We need to look up into the multiple lines of code because we need to fit into that module. Then we need to go for the testing and all. It will be more reductant, and it will be more stressful for the entire environment, and it will be more burning out cash for the company. And when it comes to Agile, it is less pressure because the modules will be divided every 2 weeks according to the sprints for us. So developers or testers or the ITSM teams who are involved in this, they're going to focus to those 2 week sprint. The goal will be short term and long term. Long term, anyways, we're gonna give the entire product at one go. But the short term goals will be fixed, and we will be looking forward to the entire user stories, whichever, and we have clear definition of who will be handling what all the blockers. Everything will be documented. People know where to. People no need to go here and there and look for whom to report or whom to ask if this issue comes up, because whatever the user stories we're going to make in the Agile using Jira, everything will be recorded in the documented in the Confluence or any other documentation software. There we will definitely define who are the owners, which team will be handling what, and what are the blockers we gonna have, and how we gonna handle it. And there will be risk mitigation as well, which will be handled by the auditors or the risk management team. They will gonna give us the what are the risk, how we gonna mitigate if there is anything go on sideways, or there will be like a system crash or whatever it is, which will comes up in the end of the moment, and sudden risk happens. There will be data leakage issues. So for that, it will be high. The risk team will prioritize the risk factor, and they will document which risk to go first, who will handle that department, and then comes this entire section will be documented. Why as well, like I said, it will be documented and owners are clearly defined, and as well as everything will be people need no need to go whom to look into or whom to ask which way to go. So that's where it comes like Scrum Master or project manager, product owner, all this comes under, and business analyst. These are the four people who gonna ensure us this will run smoothly, because Scrum Master gonna felicitate the stand-up meetings. When it comes to stand-up meetings, it will be like 15 to 30 minutes every day. We're gonna do the stand-up calls because we need to get that update. What we did, where we are working right now, what will be the our next step, because it's like we can say it like an update, like this is where we stand, next we're gonna do this, what are the issues we're gonna have, we're gonna involve all the stakeholders, all the teams which are on the project, and then we're gonna have user stories. User stories is a major part whenever it comes to like I said, if it is a food delivery app, let's say live tracking will be one feature. We're gonna write the user story for it. For users for live tracking, what we gonna need? Live tracking mode, and every 30 seconds there need supposed to be an update from the rider where exactly he is going to be, and how it's gonna respond. It should be there should be responsive API as well. So API integration, for this the developers, testers, everything who are the owners, we will dedicate it to the Confluence or documentation page. Then comes then comes we will add the dependencies, what all the dependency we gonna have it, which team is dependent on what, or which team you gonna need more support into it. Everything will be documented. We will add plus points to that as well. I hope yeah. Do you have any doubts? Iterative model.
So what?
It's like continuous flow, top to bottom. Yeah.
So what is Scrum? Or what is the why it links to
Scrum is
Agile?
a framework.
Hmm.
Usually, Scrum is a framework where we use Scrum and Kanban are frameworks.
Kanban both.
Kanban as yeah. Mostly, we will use both the things. It's like a hybrid model only, because for ITSM, especially for incident and change management, we can't have. We need to limit the work in progress status, because it will create a little bit of tension or panic in the team. So we need to have a limited number of work in progress probably let's say if it is a KYC, let's take a KYC incident and it is taking lot of turnaround time to do the manual checks and all. What we will do is like we can attach a DigiLocker to it, and probably we will bring it down to 48 hours. If anything is pretty much required, or if there is any error or probably which requires more attention to it, probably it will goes into the incident management. Mostly for operational purposes we will use Kanban, and otherwise if it is a development and for any other purpose we will use Scrum methodologies. For Scrum we gonna have user stories, we're gonna have lot of to-do list, and we're gonna have a lot of reviews happening, lot of work in progress happening, because for a single feature we gonna have multiple developers adding up to the team, and multiple user stories we gonna assign to the multiple teams. Then comes to the testing department, then comes to the review department, then it comes to the production, then we're going to end the cycle. If anything goes to the stuck into it, we do create the workflow for it, who is responsible for each stage. So in that we will get to know how to whom to approach when what exactly happening. That's where it comes to, that is Scrum. Scrum is mostly it's like Agile one of the Scrum methodologies, just like Lean is mostly used by the startups because they don't have much resources, or probably they don't have bigger budgets like MNCs. So probably they're gonna lean operations. One person supposed to happen to have a lot of skill set. They're gonna use every skill set of that person, and they're gonna reduce the risk of having more resources. And it is little bit, you probably doing the Scrum Master role, probably doing the project manager role, probably doing two other roles as well. Probably you are sitting and writing the higher escalation code as well. So it's like Lean is mostly for startups and mid-sized companies, because they need to look into uh, scrutinize or cut down their slack and the resources, and as well as budgets as well.
So what is the difference between ITAL and IT?
ITSM is morely IT. This is for mostly for IT service management. ITIL is mostly depends upon what it is. It's like more like a support. This is more for operations. That is more for technical support issues, like probably SLAs, turnaround times, or anything from the customer end. So yeah, practically Scrum. And these days we are using AI for everything. We can integrate ChatGPT through API integration as well, and there will be webhooks and React Natives where we're gonna integrate Jira into it, so that we even these days I'm working on ServiceNow to sync update. If there is any P1 issue happening, it will create automatically the user story for it. So no need to stress about we supposed to create user stories and then we need to work on it. So that's how we do in Jira. We will integrate Power BI, Confluence, everything, whichever we supports in regards with that company. We will just integrate it through webhooks or API integration. Yeah, it will take some time, but we need to integrate it and to keep everything under one roof. Jira will be like one source of truth where you will be having the user stories, then you will be having the documentation part for the same thing. Then we will be having the Slack updates or probably team updates for it, because these days nobody is stressing about emails. Everybody is looking forward to Slack or Teams. Then for DevOps team, we will gonna integrate with GitHub or Jenkins for it through API, so that we know how the process is going through
Yeah, I know it. I
DevOps.
am a DevOps solution architect.
Oh,
I am
nice.
a AWS DevOps solution. I know how to integrate. And
Yeah.
so which tool is the open source and which one is the commercial for the ticketing? You're saying like that Jira. Is Jira is open source or something like
Jira
enterprise?
is open source. Couple of features are free TM, and we can use up to 5 to 10 users. If we gonna recently in 2024 we had the Jira Discovery as well as an upgrade feature. where it will streamline entire zero process into one place. That's gonna be premium product. Companies needs to supposed to give us that.
So
And
apart from that Jira, is there any open source tools are available to tracking and for that purpose? The ticketing tool,
for service now,
not ticketing tool. So something like Jira is a ticketing tool, right?
Zira is a ticketing, not a ticketing tool. It's more like you
Yeah,
we
yeah, yeah.
tracking
Yes, yes,
the
yes.
workflows and
Is there
we
any other solutions they are providing the open source freely available?
right now Zira is available for practicing purpose. If
Mm.
anybody wants to know how to work with Zira, like workflows, event triggers, how the trigger works, we can have a plugins as well for it. As we can do the, at least for practicing purpose, Zira is good to go. Most of the companies will prefer Zira because it is more versatile and it is more
Jira, yeah, Atlassian, right? Jira
Atlassian
comes from
product.
Atlassian.
Atlassian
So
product.
they all provided the Bitbucket for
Yeah,
the code repository,
yeah.
and they are all recently upgraded to CI/CD also, right?
CSUD, yes.
Thanks for class.
Yeah. Do you have any doubts, online people? Can you, Harika? Sorry, I couldn't.
Hello.
Hello. Do you have any doubts?
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, we are going to cover Agile, correct?
Yeah, Agile, Scrum, yes.
And what key points we are going to cover, and what is the use of those actually, and which tool we are going to cover. Means key concept you can you tell initially, so we can be clear in our mind what we are going to cover.
Mostly we are gonna cover Zira. Then there will be a Confluence as well. Then we will know how to work with ServiceNow and GitHub, and hopefully Zira Discovery. That's the end goal. And those are the tools we're gonna use. And I'm gonna explain you how to work with Scrum and Kanban boards as well, like story refinement and sprint planning. Those are the tools we're gonna cover, and probably Power BI and advanced Excel, because those are the tools we're gonna use for reporting most of the companies. .NET developers, huh? Okay.
Yeah. So what they want, how they can create the
User story.
user stories, and how they can work it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They're into
What
MPC and all.
they are asking, CM board you already know, right? Change management board.
Yeah.
So how they are creating the stories, and how they are planned to do, and ready, in progress, done. So
Okay.
right, how you can create the user stories,
Workflow.
and yeah, the
Workflow.
acceptance area. What is the description?
Acceptance criteria.
Acceptance criteria, and how
So-
gonna will be working on it.
Okay. To break it to you guys, most of this work will be done by either project Scrum Master and product owner. Those are the people who will decide which stories to go, what is the velocity, what all the points needs to be used for this particular sprint cycle, how many points we're gonna assign for the users for that particular, what is the acceptance criteria, and what will be the definition of done. So those two people will decide what will go into this user stories, and they will assign to that which team gonna do what. So as a developer perspective, you if you are looking to go get into Scrum Master, or probably product owner or project manager or delivery lead, then you need to know, for project manager, I don't think they supposed to know how the entire this refinement works, because most of the work will be done by product owner, and then it comes to Scrum Master. They both gonna have a discussion over it, and they will plan accordingly. When it comes to project manager, he will plan, and from end to end project life cycle, like he will plan he will sit with the delivery point, and he will look into the critical path, which is the easiest path or the closest path we can close this cycle. He will have that, sometimes he will be involved into this budgeting as well, how this entire project gonna cost. He will ensure our this project gonna we're gonna deliver to the up to the deadline. We're gonna hold up to our bargain as well. That's the project manager role. So when it comes to developer, I think most of the developers gonna have a very good career in technical project manager, where we supposed to have we need to have the technical knowledge as well, because we are gonna work with a lot of developers and testers as well. So when it comes to a lot of developers and testers, if there is any escalation happens, or probably even the team lead is not gonna have the escalation code for it, or probably he is not gonna resolve it. Probably project manager needs to step into the position, and he needs to act according to the situation. So that's the career path. And if we gonna learn all these tools, probably we will be looking at 5 highly challenging and versatile career paths. One is agile coach, because most of the companies are shifting towards digital transformation, where the agile coach will come in place. He is the one who will gonna train each and everyone in that particular company how to use agile methodologies, how to use Jira, and stakeholder management and all. When it comes to delivery lead, you guys, we are gonna ensure that product, we gonna end up delivering our product end to end. And there goes a project manager. Like I said, it's like it's like end to end, like from planning stage to the sub production stage. Whether it will be like infra or probably technical, it can go both ways. When it comes to infra, we need to be a little bit more about networking, gateways, all this stuff. When it comes to technical, either we supposed to have Salesforce or .NET, or probably you know um, Java, Python, any of the technical knowledge, just to make sure we going to understand what exactly when we are speaking to the engineers or the developers team. When it comes to program manager, it is a bit more up in the hierarchy with the project managers, where we gonna handle 3 or more projects at one go. So it's like a concurrently we are handling 3 plus of projects. It is more it is much above the project manager, and similar to the rules, but we gonna handle more than 3 projects at a time. And product manager, like I said, he is the one who will make sure we are having the right features, and we are gonna have the right user stories per sprint, and he'll make sure he will give us the direction how this product supposed to go. And scrum master, again, project manager and scrum master, most of the time they'll overlap with the roles and responsibilities. Scrum master make sure everything happens, and if there is any conflict, probably if there is a any blocker is we are having any blocker in the issue, or the issue in the product, he'll make sure he will communicate, and he will give us the right amount of direction towards it. Now we're gonna see how to do it in live. It is just like Google creation, guys. If you have a Google or Gmail account, it's more than enough.
Turtle.
Roman మనిషి అండి ఇది వెళ్తుంది.
The left side, the below. Car, yeah, car. Yes. Hmm? అవునా VPN. అవునవును. నేను బయట చూస్తాను. మేబీ అయి ఉండొచ్చు. సెప్టెంబర్ ఒక సెప్టెంబర్ ఒక
So this is the tool which we're gonna use to track and create user stories as well. So we can select what sort of work we're gonna do. This is for software development, product management, everything comes under one thing. I'm gonna select project management. So here we have Kanban and project management and Scrum. I'm gonna select Scrum. We can give any name to our space. I'm gonna put it down like demo. We're gonna select what all the features we need to go for this space.
What's backlog?
Sorry?
There is one dashboard like backlog.
Backlog.
Log.
Cloud.
What is it? Can you come again?
Backlog is also there. One more thing available actually. Here it is not there actually. Backlog.
Backlog.
Backlog?
Yes.
Backlog is whenever we have an issue with the user story, it will be like a backlog. It will go into the grooming, then we will refine that features, and then we will get back into the user story. It is more like how to say it, like error bug in developer sense.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll do refinement, then we will refine definition of done, and definition of done is mostly like what is that backlog. Yeah, నాకు బ్యాక్ క్లౌడ్ అన్నట్టు వినిపించింది. This is how usually the page will look like, and this is how this is the idea to do in progress and review, and then there will be like a complete. These are the stages we gonna come across every user story. Now we're gonna create a yeah, more people and everything will come under admin work. Admin people will add the people, and access management gonna comes under admin only. So admin people will give us the access, and if it is like a project manager, he's gonna have the entire control over the project, even for Scrum Master as well. When it comes to developer, he's gonna look into the things which he got assigned, probably by the Scrum Master or project manager. He is going to look into his part of the project. So just like how other projects works, even this software works in the same line, because access management is something which is very crucial and very important to the companies. So it will be restricted and it goes up into the hierarchy. Depends on the hierarchy, they'll get the access for the project. So whenever anyone creates the user story, this is how it's supposed to go. We're gonna end up with the status. We're gonna come up with in progress. So I need ideas to create user story, guys. Come on, little bit interactive.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, suppose we are creating a project and it is suppose already suppose develop half is developed and we have to redevelop some modules and
Okay.
yeah and suppose there are some bugs and we have to take suppose a request from them, we have to validate whether it is correct or not. We should reject that one if it is not correct, and then we should start working on that. In that way we can proceed.
I'm sorry, I couldn't get you. Can you please repeat it? If you are comfortable with Telugu, you can go ahead with Telugu as well. Not हिंदी समझ आएगी?
हाँ हाँ
हिंदी में बोल सकती हैं आप?
यस यस बोल सकते हो.
जी बोलिए.
आप रिक्वायरमेंट पूछ रहे थे ना कि
नहीं नहीं.
So now he has to take the call that whether he has to accept or reject something like that.
नहीं नहीं, आपके पास कोई वो what I can say, like, you don't have a choice whether to accept it or not. Project manager and scrum master, these people gonna decide who is getting what module to work on. So we don't have any option if we are developers.
Or you create one user
Yeah.
application. Okay. So here actually what we will do means we'll try to create one e-commerce application. Let us consider in that e-commerce application we'll have multiple modules are available like order service, product service, cart service, Okay, and we need to assign these tasks to the developers.
Yeah.
So that how we can implement that one practically, if you show,
Yeah,
it will be
sure.
helpful for them.
Let's take, we're gonna look into the cart. Let's take an Amazon, any e-commerce thing. We're gonna do the summary is gonna be what this future actually do for us, does for the users or the customers. We're gonna make a cart update. So here in the description, what we gonna do, I just want to ask you how this feature is gonna we use this feature. We all are pretty much well equipped with the how this card system goes, how this card will get update, right? I want you to answer this. What will be the acceptance criteria as an user? What will be your expectation for this feature? Come on, guys. You are using Amazon, Myntra, lot of other e-commerce websites. So if you want to look into the very successful cart update, what's your acceptance criteria? As an user, what you supposed to have in a cart?
Bargaining.
कार्ट में बार्गेनिंग नहीं हो सकती है ना, अमेजोन पे बार्गेनिंग नहीं होता ना।
नहीं, क्या हम ऐसा फीचर ला सकते हैं अपने एप्लीकेशन में?
नहीं नहीं, ई कॉमर्स पे तो ऐसा नहीं होता ना।
कुछ कुछ कंसेप्ट आ रहे हैं अभी मार्केट में जहाँ पे बार्गेनिंग हो सकती है।
ओके, एंड
Prices should be in Indian rupees. Like,
सॉरी, कैन यू रिपीट इट अगेन?
yeah, prices should be in Indian rupees, means Indian rupee symbol like that. We add
Okay.
the current, not dollar like that.
If we use Amazon.in, then it shows in rupees. If we use Amazon.com, then it shows in dollar. It depends on
Yeah,
URL
it
actually.
will be dynamic. One more. Any look and feel, how seamless it's supposed to work?
If the product is available in that e-commerce website, then only it has to be go in the cart, or else
Availability.
it shows it's not available in
Okay.
currently. That is also right.
So
Hello.
here comes, yes.
There should be a price display how they are going from last few days. Suppose high and low of the price actually of the product.
Price comparison.
Yeah, and suppose graph should be there, a small graph on which date what was the price of that product. Miss, sometimes we have to use third-party applications. So if it is in built, then it will be useful for users.
Yeah, price comparison will cover all those things. Now it comes to definition of done. Definition of done is one thing, like we gonna define how it's supposed to, we gonna achieve all these things. Okay, then we gonna add blockers, like or dependencies, we can say. In a developer perspective, what all the dependencies we gonna have upon this, or the blockers, if we are gonna implement all these features into the R card. Come on, guys.
Um, Madam, could you please come again?
If we're gonna come up with this application like this particular feature, we're gonna have dependencies or blockers, right? In a developer perspective, what's the dependency we're gonna have if we're gonna implement all these features? Maybe probably API integration. Yeah.
Hmm.
For dynamic pricing or probably the currency, we're gonna integrate all those API integration, right? And then stays availability and we're gonna implement a CI/CD as well because status availability gonna refresh every 30 seconds, isn't it? And then comes here are the here we gonna assign to the team which team gonna work on this particular feature. Okay, it is as simple as we can see. We don't have any extra assignees, so I'm gonna add automatic or probably the one which left. Tell me how we gonna decide priority. You guys gonna tell me what's the priority range here. Is it medium, low, high, highest, lowest?
Medium or high?
It's gonna be medium. And we're gonna select parent for it. Everything once we create the users, then we can define parents and everything. Then we can assign it, and we're gonna assign due date when it's supposed to be done. Anyways, our sprint cycle will be 2 weeks. That's the usual. So we're gonna come up with. I'm just randomly selecting today because and labels. Here we're gonna define the labels as well. Once the label is we assign it, and this is where we choose teams. Is it the developer team or is it the DevOps team? Which all the teams we gonna if there is any issue or anything related to this particular feature, we gonna assign it over here, and we gonna assign start date as well. Here we gonna select which sprint or which Scrum sprint this gonna end. Story points, usually for demo purpose, we gonna assign 5. This is where we're gonna define the blockers or is there anything clone happening or any duplicates are there or does it relate to anything. We're gonna get into much deeper once we learn more, and this is where we're gonna restrict to the people because now I'm the one who is developing it, which comes under administrator. Remember, you gonna see what all the features are probably what all. As an administrator, you can have end-to-end access to anything for update setting, adding other admins and other people as well. As a viewer, you can search through it, view, comment on it, and but nothing much else. As a member, you do have a little bit of more privilege when compared to a viewer, where you can work on it and you can actually edit the work. This is how we create a feature. Do you have any questions till now?
Yeah, what is the story point?
Story point is usually we assign points to each and every user story, and usually every sprint does carry little bit of value to it. We will assign, let's say total gonna be 100 points, where we gonna assign how much each story will carry, and which does carries more story points, that goes into priority 1, then it goes to priority 2 and lower priority. Depends upon that, we'll assign some points to it.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions?
What type of are you creating a story, right?
Created.
Yeah, you already created.
Yeah.
So what type of creates are there? Something like if it is a story or a task or a something like how we can go, on. Something like how we can add a feature, how we can add a bug, how to define a bug, something like.
For now, I created a user story. For
Hmm.
bug and everything, for the creation part, we're gonna get it here. Here we're gonna get whether it is a feature, task, or bug. So depends upon that, we will define it. If it is a bug, we're gonna look into it. Let's keep it as in review, the status. Then we're gonna add summary to it. Then we're gonna add description, what was the type of bug, what's the priority it is in, and how it is impacting, little bit about the bug, just like a description part. Then we can assign the people who are gonna look into this particular thing. Then we're gonna assign how the priority to it. Is it the highest if it is a data leak, or probably if it is causing too much crash or let's say latency issues, it comes under higher value. When it comes to just like a cart update or any minor update, it comes under medium. Lowest will go into it. It can take a month also. It doesn't impact much work, or it doesn't impact much of anything when it comes to lowest priority. Then we're gonna assign the parent to it. Then we're gonna assign due date. Gonna assign labels for it, team, start date. Everything will be sorted out, and which sprint it is happening. We're gonna select that sprint as well. And the story points and everything, either Scrum Master or probably project manager or probably product owner gonna decide how many story points it does carry for that particular feature.
Print.
Yeah.
So
User
something
story.
like
User story.
Yeah. So how usually taking the story points for a sprint? For example, the sprint
Depends.
should be a
Um,
the sprint should be a 15 days. So for example, so user stories should be a 3 or 2, something like, right? So how you gonna
yeah.
gonna a story points looks like, how it will be taking a story point.
Story points, we gonna assign as a project manager or scrum master, I gonna assign the story point to it. Depends upon the priority. If it goes, let's say if it's a highest priority, we gonna assign more points to it because we need it on a priority basis. Depends upon the priority, we assign the story points to it. Let's say total points accumulate to 100 points. If it is the lowest thing, we're gonna accumulate and do the average to it and assign equal points to each the future. If it is like high priority, if there is any mix into it, then we're gonna assign story points, depends upon the priority.
So for example, the story or a bug I am unable to deliver this sprint. So is it possible to forward it to the next sprint or not?
We're gonna have a sync session for it with the product owner, project manager. Everything will be present, and we're gonna we're gonna discuss why it is not happening. Is it like a sometimes there will be a lot of expectations from the team. Probably it doesn't happen like always on the deadlines or probably the timelines which we supposed to happen. What we will do is we'll have a grooming session for it where we're gonna discuss why it is not happening. We will define the definition of done, we'll refine it, and then we'll be looking at if the feature is lowest priority, then we will be pushing backwards to it, and we will be looking into next cycle or sprint cycle or probably next upcoming cycle. We will be looking at the priority.
Yeah. So this story, for example, this story points are this board. So we can use for only developer or something like IT people also can use it, or testing also we can use it.
Everybody comes under this Jira tool only.
Yeah. How it will be on the testing people? They are writing on the test cases. So how we can define the story points?
Story points, they are testing and developers nothing to do with the story points. Everything will be taken care by the either by the scrum master or project manager or product owner. They will be assigning the teams and who will be working on what, which cycle, who's gonna work, because the, let's say for every sprint we're gonna have minimum 15 to 20 user stories. So we're gonna need a lot of teams putting their hands into to develop that particular user stories to come that sprint cycle to finish it off. So depends upon the stream things and the resources available. Everything get assigned. They're gonna work on their thing. Once it is done, we can see the complete in progress in review, and then it is like done status. Once it achieved the done status, it is done.
So yeah, you are good. Something like so so the development and testing people use the this board.
For to this board to look into where exactly the
Where are we
particular
at? Something like
user
how it
stories is
will gonna use for the DevOps or a IT people.
uh, like operation side.
Yes.
Yeah, these people will be collaborated with the ServiceNow team.
Mm.
These are the people who will be looking into how the networking is going on. Let's say cloud migration. It is heavily dependent upon the ITI team as well as DevOps team, because we need that complete upgradation and we need to document everything. We need to look into zero downtime. We need to look into the what all the features gonna affect. Is it which and we need to look into SLA turnaround time as well as then we will be looking into latency as well. So we need to have a lot of load on the networking data center as well as DevOps team. DevOps team, whether it is a development or probably even if it is like a ITI project, they're gonna be assigned to infra projects as well as development projects, because the developer there will be continuous development and there will be continuous integration. So we're gonna integrate GitHub as well for a couple of actions. So we're gonna integrate Jira to the Jenkins to the Jira board as well. So DevOps team gonna be, whether it is a ITI project or infra project or whatever project, DevOps team will be in collaboration with all the projects.
Okay. Thank you.
Do you have any questions, people?
Ma'am, I have been hearing like story points we have to provide in Fibonacci series. Is it correct?
Sorry.
No,
Story
no.
points will be in Fibonacci series. Is it
Kubernetes.
correct, or we can provide any?
Yeah. Kubernetes series only. Yeah, something like how we can define if it is a 5 days or a 2 week sprint, right? So it will be Fibonacci series. Yes, you're right. Something like how it will be something like you are adding a two story points or a four-story points or a six-story points. So we can add it based upon the for example, if you are a developer, right? Yeah, it will be a story point should be a something like a 2 4 5 6 or something like a 2 4 6 8 or something like it will be based on the days number of times the sprint will be, and they can divide it as a something like 15 days by 2 or something like a 4 8 something like they will divide it and they will divide it and they
Yeah.
will give it to the story point.
Depends upon the number of days.
Number of days and
Depends upon the priority. Depends upon the resources. Everything comes under to divide that
story
point.
points.
Suppose there is points like in Fibonacci series 1, 1, 2, and then 3, 5, 8, 13.
Yes.
So, yeah, so depend on this, how can we calculate number of days?
See, every sprint gonna be 2 week sprint. Let's say 10 working days. So it depends up each story or each user story will be we will working on those 10 working days only. We will divide the number. We will looking into the priority of the user story. Then we will divide. Let's say if it is like a 100 points accumulated, we go. Let's say if it is a high priority task, we're gonna assign more points to it. If it is like lowest priority, we're gonna add like a 5 or 10 points to it. It depends on the priority, number of working days, and everything.
Points are basically for priority or difficulty or the number of days required.
So basically why we assign this points is like we gonna take the velocity in picture. It is a little bit more deeper thing. Velocity is like how as a team we are performing. We will take average for 2 to 3 sprints or per quarter. Then we can sit into the retrospective meeting, then we can take the feedback, then we can document it, and then we can refine it where exactly we are going through. Let's say if the teams are going through burnout matlab agar kisi ko, everybody does know Hindi, right? So
Yes.
if the entire team is going through not achieving the goals, and we need to look, you literally can't go to one team and say like because of you people only project is not happening. So we supposed to do it in a little bit a diplomatic way. You can't blame each other, and you can't shift the blame, and because so what we will do is like we will take the average of every sprint for the entire quarter. That's where this story points come in picture. How many points we achieve? Let just take it as a test you are going to write in your university, or probably whatever it is. Let's say you it is the total is 100 points. It depends upon the weightage. Some might have 10 points to the answer, some might have 1 point to the answer. It depends upon the length and depth of it, or probably priority of it, right? A similar goes to the user stories as well. All this velocity, burn down chart, everything we will assay. We will just look into it, and we're gonna do retrospection. We will just to make those tweaks and upgrades, and talk to the team where exactly we are going through, and what exactly the team is going through, and take the feedback and improve those changes into the team. That's how it the entire story works here. Hope I am clear.
Yeah.
Hi, suppose there is a task I'm going to integrate the API to display some data. So what could be story point for that? It's going to take 4 days.
Sorry.
Like here is a task I'm integrating the API. So this task will take to 4 days. So what could be the story point for this task?
So if you're gonna assign a API integration, let's say it is like depends upon the priority. If it is a medium priority, we're gonna assign 10 to 15 points to it. If it is like a lowest priority or lower priority, we're gonna assign 5 to 10 points. Max is minimum is like a 5 point.
Okay.
Yeah. Any questions?
Move. Is it done?
Yeah, the live example is done, and
Hey guys. So good morning. Myself, I'm Hari. I'm a DevOps solution architect. So you understood about the what is Agile, what is waterfall model, and so how it will be working Jira, how we can integrate the Jira, what is the story point, so what is a task, what is a epic, what is a bug, right? So something like yep. Sorry guys. So you understood about the what is a store, what is a Jira, how it will integrate Jira with our working, right? So as a developer, as a QA engineer, or as a IT team, how they can integrate with our either if it is a developer perspective, if it may be a something like a feature, we need to add the feature, or something like while deploying you had a something like a issue on the deployment side. So then we need to create a bug for that, and we can work on that bug, and we can deploy it to the next sprint, right? So that is with a development team, and that QA team will assign something like the story points. So whatever the story points, whatever the test cases, right? The test cases will be included in the
review
as a
phase.
yeah, is a base of a so we can add something like if it is a DevOps guy, so they're also having the tasks. So something like is there an issue? So something like integrate with the Jenkins. So we need to set up the CI/CD. So they will also create the futures. It might be a Why it is there?
The non
Yeah, I know
default.
it. So when we so you see right here.
Mhm. This is Zira.
Yeah, yeah. So when you create it, right, it may
Yeah.
be, you see here why it is going.
మీరు ఏం చూస్తున్నారు?
So something like this may be a task or application change,
Yeah.
or something like how we can change it. So based on the create.
ఇక్కడ
Here.
వర్క్
Here.
టైప్ ఎపిక్ ఫీచర్
No,
టాస్క్
here.
అది ఫీచర్ ఇది దిస్ ఇస్ మోర్ లైక్ a
A
space
Scrum you already created.
which we are working on.
Yeah.
This is the later we gonna define which is what if we are working on the feature, epic, a task or bug.
So when we create here, right, so it will be asking it is a change or task or something like that. You see, it will automatically change it.
ఇది డిఫాల్ట్ సార్
Default.
ఇది అప్గ్రేడ్ అయిపోయింది ఇప్పుడు.
Yeah. So when you click on the create, right, so when you click on the create, so it will be changing, guys. So it will be a task, or can you go little bit up?
This is more like a workspace. We can create it, and work type we will gonna define if it is a feature, task or bug, and then the status, whether it is in progress, in review. This is where testing guys come in place.
Yeah.
And
So we can change it accordingly, whatever you want. So something like for example, if it is a feature or task, so how we can change it? Yeah, it will be a bug, or it will be a epic, or it will be a feature. So for example, if it is a IT, how we can do it? That CM ticket or a change management ticket. So you are creating, your work is done, right? You create a one CM ticket, change management ticket, then you can create the description, and you can provide the that GitHub links and everything, the description on that ticket, CM ticket. You need to include the you gonna work with that feature, you gonna work with that deployment. The deployment should be either task or bug, or bug or bug, or a task, feature or feature. You can include into that that items into that CM ticket, then we can move forward to the deployment. So we can create it whatever we convenient, guys. We can modify it whatever we want, that status and everything. We create the ticket, right? So can you open any ticket? Close it. Right. So for example, this is the one ticket. So in here, yeah, the status. So edit the status also. Whatever you want, convenient, you can modify it accordingly. Your something like a in progress, or a change is scheduled, change in progress, change cancelled, rollback, whatever the status you need for a task or a future or something like a bug, right? You can modify it whatever you accordingly that. So for the manage workflow, you can manage your workflow. How we can do it? So that, right? So you can manage it whatever you want. You can manage it. Okay. So for example, something like it's in open state, then change in progress, then change cancelled.
This is like ideation phase where we hire
I do.
management like solution architect,
Yes,
everybody come in place. Then it goes to do here where all the resources
person.
gonna get involved. Then in review we'll gonna look at, this is where testing people will come in place.
Yes.
In progress means whenever there is any bug
If
or
so if you are working on that, if you are, so if you're working on a task or bug or something like a feature, you can modify it something like a working in progress. So once you are ready, you can change it to review, under review, then we can work complete, done. So whatever you want, guys, based on your environment, you can modify the statuses. You can modify the statuses, guys.
Then we can assign people who are working on that particular stages,
Yes.
because it will be easier for us to track who all the owners are for that particular stage.
And on that board, you can define something like in progress, in ready, and every ticket having the description and that acceptance criteria wise. Okay, so in the task acceptance criteria, so what are the changes we need to do as a test cases or a development or IT operation, something like so we want to create a CI/CD pipeline. So these are the requirements. This is the description. In the description, want to create a CI/CD for the Jenkins for this project. Okay, what they will do? They will create the description. In the acceptance criteria, they will provide the what needs to be done, what are the requirements we need. So they are creating the acceptance criteria, guys. So every ticket, either task or a change ticket or something like anything, if it is a bug or a feature, so we need to take the modification. What is that? What we call it as the status. The status should be you can create your own status, something like the Scrum Master or a project manager will decide the status.
Yeah.
So what are the steps we need to include it? So right. So Jira having a more features, so you can modify it whatever you want through the dashboard. Okay, that is the big advantage in the Jira, guys.
And whenever we're gonna update to the stakeholders like there will be external and internal stakeholders as well. Mostly conflict management and everything comes under internal stakeholders. Probably different teams of people are having multiple priority lists, or probably they are deciding which feature to go up. Probably product owner is coming up with a new feature to be added in between the sprint. So this all comes under stakeholder and conflict management. Everybody will get the status update weekly once from the same thing, guys, because this is the one place where we gonna have the status and everything. We gonna attach it to the Slack or probably mail. So they will directly get where exactly the current project stands, what is the finished work, what is in progress, what is yet to start, what are the blockers. Everything will be set it in a status. We'll use those templates and we'll send it to the stakeholders.
And yes, right. So who created that Jira, ma'am?
Usually this will be created, user stories will be defined by product owners.
Yeah.
Then comes the Scrum Master who will create this entire Jira board.
Mm-hmm.
Project manager or Scrum Master will handle Jira board, workflows, dashboards, and triggers and everything. Any transition rules, everything will be handled by Scrum Master and Project Manager.
Guys, Atlassian company is created the Jira. Okay, not only a Jira, so they created the Jira as well as that Bitbucket and Confluence, guys.
Yeah.
If you took the if you reach it to Atlassian, so they are providing the future should be a Jira as well as Bitbucket and the Confluences, guys. So there will be give three futures in one company. That company is Atlassian company. If you took the three, if you want to take all these three at what time, you can reach out to the Atlassian and you can take all these things. So in our company, everyone they are using the Jira for the dashboard, something like the how we can go now work. So if you want any references for that work, they can use the Confluences. Confluences are a wiki pages. They can write the SOPs and everything. The documentation will be available under the Confluences, guys. Your Bitbucket, so Bitbucket is for the either developer or a whoever, QA engineers or something like or a IT management. So IT team or a development team or a QA team, they use the Bitbucket for storing the data. So something like a developer, whoever the developer develop that right code, the code will be pushed to the Bitbucket. So the Atlassian company provided the Bitbucket as well as the story points, whatever the stories or bugs, everything, or something like the implementations and C4 diagrams, everything will be stored under the Confluence pages. The SOPs and the documentation, everything will be stored under the Confluence pages. Okay, and so what they all provided, Atlassian company provided all these three features. If you take all these three features, so we can include it and we can. So if you whenever you create the story, right, whenever you push the code, so whenever you push the code from the Git bucket, developer to Git bucket, so then it will create the what is that?
This is more like user stories.
User stories, it will automatically. So in the Bitbucket, there is a feature called as a CI/CD. The CI/CD is nothing but a continuous integration and continuation. So whenever the developer push their code, right, it automatically, that Bitbuckets will take it and it will run the CI/CD, and it will automatically deploy through the, it will trigger the Jenkins, and it will automatically deploy the code also, code to the that server. Guys, understood? So they are providing a three features. One is a Jira, Bitbucket, and the Atlassian company. Guys, understood?
Yes. Could you please show us CI/CD pipeline?
So CI/CD we cannot show right now. So
No.
this story, yeah, this workshop is only for the that ITSM. What is Jira? What is Agile? And what is
Yeah.
so right, guys. That should be CI/CD should be need to know. It will be take very long time. So
Because
can
we need to know how to work with the ticketing system. We need to how to integrate the other features. Then comes GitHub or Bitbucket will
this
come.
This workshop
pretty
should
much
this workshop is only for the how we can accumulate, how we can use these tools, guys, Jira and Confluences, right? So then we will conduct another workshop how it will gonna work with the CI/CD, guys. Okay.
Yes.
This workshop, this workshop is only for the how that Scrum, how Agile works in how Agile works. What is the features of Agile? What is the drawbacks of the waterfall methodology? Right, guys, understood?
Do you have any questions?
Okay, guys. So you already know about the something like so waterfall and Agile, right? So what are the drawbacks? Madam already discussed about what is Agile, why Agile came into the picture, right? Initially, waterfall methodology, you already know the waterfall methodology of SDLC, right, guys? For example, you have a thought, you have a thought, something like you have an idea, I want to implement a software for the WhatsApp. So you did not decided the WhatsApp. For example, you want to implement a software for the messaging. So right, messaging purpose, I want to implement a application. You want to implement a application. How you can implement, guys? Through the SDLC. SDLC is nothing but a software development life cycle. How we can create a one software and how we can deploy it and how we can end user will use it. So they can use the SDLC, software development life cycle. So whenever want to create a software, so we need to follow the procedure. That procedure is the SDLC procedure. SDLC is nothing but a software development life cycle. In the software development life cycle, so they are using the methodologies. The methodology should be, so the methodology is initially they are using the waterfall. Nowadays they are using the Agile methodology. Nowadays they are using the Agile methodology. Waterfall methodology is nothing but a sequentially, something like so how it will gonna work, something like as a development perspective, the developer develop the code, entire code, WhatsApp code they develop it, and so they initially what is SDLC, a requirement analysis, a plan or design or build or test or deploy, right? This will go this way. So in the waterfall methodology they are using a sequential manner. So first we need to analyze, plan, build, test, deploy, everything sequentially. How they work a waterfall methodology. So for example, they are doing manually the deployments. How it will be happen? For example, every 6 months or every 1 year they are going a go live.
Yeah.
So something like so whenever they deploy, it is difficult to go back because of
n number of lines
n
for
number
the
of
code.
n number of features, n number of features added, and n number of bugs they are added. It right. It will be very difficult to go back. So that's the reason. So Agile comes into the picture, right? So when Agile comes into the picture, everything through iterative process. Everything through iterative process. Whenever we so it will they define as a just 2 to 8 weeks. For example, in the Agile methodology, how they're gonna deploy any feature or software in 2 weeks or 8 weeks time. So for example, 2 weeks. 2 weeks is nothing but a sprinting time. So sprint is nothing but a 15 days. So how we can deploy a feature or a bug or something like within the 2 weeks. So that's the reason. So a feature want to come. Feature is nothing but a green, bug is nothing but a future is nothing but a, for example, if it is a WhatsApp. So you already deployed a chat and contacts. You are trying to deploy the status. Status should be a future. So what is a bug? So when you deploy the chat and contact having a issue. So that is nothing but a bug. A bug should be a blocker, something like what is that? It may be a blocker or it may be a minor changes, minor blocker. It may be a major or a blocker, right? So for example, this is a minor issue. They created a bug and they will deploy this future and bug in the next sprint. So right, when Agile methodology comes into the picture, the automation comes into the picture. So every Agile methodology, every feature need to deploy within the sprint.
Within the sprint.
Sprint is nothing but a 2 weeks of a time. So right, so they will work on it. If something goes wrong, right, they can resolve it easily. If something goes wrong, it will resolve it easily because of the 2 weeks, right? So in this sprint, what are the features are available? Features and bugs. These 2 feature and bug will be deployed under this sprint. So if anything goes wrong, it will automatically come back and resolve it easily. So and once the Agile methodology comes into the picture, the iteration should be comes into the picture. So every 2 weeks, you are deploying the changes. In the waterfall methodology, how they are deploying? They are deploying the changes either 6 to 12 months. 6 to 12 months. That time, no need of a. You are deploying a changes into the server every 12 months, every 1 year. Oftenly, we don't need to automate this process. We don't need to automate this process. Everything through manual only. Everything through manual only because of one time action, right? We don't need a automation for that one time action. So if you are doing repeatedly, why you want to do manually? So you can create a automation, something like that. Automation should be a CI/CD. So once the CI/CD Agile comes into the picture, CI/CD comes into the picture. So in that CI/CD, you can use any CI/CD. They are providing the CI/CD tools, right? This is the repeated actions. This is the repeated action. So Agile comes into the picture, right? So before it is deploying only one time, now we are deploying every 15 days. So we need a automation. How we can do the automation? So before before it is a IND, integration and deployment. Okay. So now, so we want to deploy the features within 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks means we need a continuation. So for that purpose, there is a continuous integration and continuous deployment. In that continuous integration, continuous deployment, they are using some tools, a Jenkins or something like so GitHub Actions, GitLab CI, Bitbucket CI/CD. So many CI/CDs are available. You can integrate that CI/CDs and you can deploy it. Right? That's the reason Agile methodology comes into the picture. When Agile methodology comes into the picture, Scrum Master, right? Product owners, they are included. And in the Scrum, every day, daily, they are doing the stand-up meetings for our sprint. So that sprint should be 2 weeks. So in the 15 days, every day you have a Scrum calls, daily stand-up
calls, and
in that stand-up, they are discussing what is the progress of your task.
User
stories. So in the stories, you are facing any blockers. So in that blockers, they are. So you are having any challenges. do we need any team
any
dependencies?
dependencies.
So then you can work on it. So in that Scrum, they are doing the progressing of your work and the challenges of your work. Then so it will be move forward to the next next level. So the sprint, in that sprint there will be a every after sprint they will be conducting the retrospective meeting
every 4 to 8 weeks,
probably. Right. So in that retrospective, what we are discussing?
We will be looking into how we're going to improve the entire process, what all the changes we're going to make. Maybe it will be minor or major. We will be looking at how we can do this job in a better way, or probably reducing the manual work, or probably it's like an insight session.
So in that sprint, so every 2 weeks they are creating a sprint. For example, the sprint team name called as a North Star. North Star, the team name called it as a North Star, the board name. So the sprint, something like a sprint 20, sprint 21, sprint 22, sprint 23, they are conducting like that. So whatever the blockers or something like whatever the tickets, user story points will move to the sprints. So something like a sprint. So every sprint they are creating something like a bug or a feature. So in that, so if you are creating a feature or bug, so it will be deploying this in this sprint or not. Or if you are facing any challenges, so it will move to the next sprint also. If you are not done this, the status should be not done. This will automatically go to the next sprint, right?
Yeah.
So that is the sprint Scrum will define, guys.
We'll be looking into how much percentage the work is done, what is left. We will get into the grooming session, backlog grooming. It will get into backlog grooming sessions. We will discuss, and then we can attach it to the next sprint or probably next upcoming sprints whenever we can fit into this particular feature.
So Jira provided the Jira is the pretty much tool, guys, good tool. So they are adding all these sprint Scrum boards into this Jira, guys. So Jira, before they are also using in the Microsoft also they provided the Kanban boards, but that is not much easier and much familiar. Jira created a dashboard, UI dashboard. It will be a user-friendly dashboard, and it will be very easy to understand and work on it, guys. So that's the reason Jira is So that's the reason Jira is more popular than Team Microsoft Kanban boards.
And we can integrate pretty much everything, Slack or Teams or anything.
So Jira is a good feature, guys. We can integrate in the Teams, Slack or something like. So whenever you have any issue with the IT, something like the service down or application down, it will automatically create the Jira, create a task or a ticket, and it will directly push you to the Slack or Teams. Whatever the teams are there,
who are the teams or the stakeholders who is looking for an update, they'll get pretty much.
That's the reason Jira is more popular, because of all the integrations. It will be very easy and understand, user friendly. That's the reason Jira is more popular, guys. Understood? So you want to discuss any confluences or something? Is it good?
It's good for Confluence and integration. We can discuss it pretty much.
Yeah. So thank you so much, guys. Do you have any doubts? Guys, any doubts?
Do you have any questions?
Good, right? So thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank
So we
you.
will be connecting with you in the next workshop, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. So, hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So my projects in old projects in local staging and live server production. So how manage this project in CI/CD pipeline?
Sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead. So sorry, come again.
So my project is a ASP.NET. Yes, and it is a local base and staging and a production base. So I convert to in a CI/CD pipeline
Yeah. It is a local. How you gonna deploy that application, the .NET application? So are you using manually or something like how you are deploying your application? You are deploying through
Manually.
Azure.
Git.
Yeah. So
Directly they can put the GitHub project or Azure app services.
yeah. So you can use the Azure ADO, Azure DevOps integration. In that they are providing the features. Every feature they created it in integrated it. You can use
Yes.
that one and you can deploy it automatically. You can create a CI/CD, a dashboard CI/CD, scriptive or something like a declarative. You can use it and you can provide your GitHub resource. And it will automatically deploy into the server. You need to configure the stages, whatever the stages in the ADO, and then you can deploy it.
Can you manage in a database in a CI/CD pipeline?
Database CI/CD pipeline. What is CI/CD? So I told you, right, continuous integration and continuous deployment. What is continuous integration and continuous deployment? So whenever the developer develop that code, right, so that code should be could be deployed into the server finally, right? So you are
Yes.
taking the code from Git and
Yes.
from that remote to local. Then you can
Yes.
modify your changes. Then again you can push it to the changes to the repository, and from that repository to you want to deploy the code from that repository to your IIS server, .NET server, right? So from that server manually you can download it and manually you can connect to the server and you can copy that code into that server. So that is the manual process. We don't want to do the manual process. So we can do automate, means it will automatically get the code and connect to the server and keep the code from that repository to server is nothing but a automation. That automation will take care by the CI/CD.
Okay, yes. Thank you.
There is no database involvement. Database is different. CI/CD is
No.
the process to automate our manual changes.
Hi.
Okay.
So to update a database, so directly we need to use the SQL script, right?
Yeah, for
Definitely.
that also. Oh, good question. So something like in the Jenkins, you use the Jenkins is the CI/CD tool. For example, I want to upgrade the database. How you can upgrade? First, you need to connect the server. Then you can upgrade the database like it is a Oracle or it is a Postgres or it is a MySQL. The version should be from 10 to 12 or 10 to 11, or you can use it. You can create a script. Then you can run that script. It will automatically connect to the server and it will automatically run the steps, whatever the execution steps. For example, in Linux mission you want to install a Java or a Tomcat or HTTPD. So I don't want to do connect directly, and I don't want to use the install Java, install HTTPD. I want to run from Jenkins. So Jenkins is a server. Okay, so you can create a script on that Jenkins, either script declarative or a script, and it will, the Jenkins server will connect to that the mission database mission, and Jenkins will run the job, and that job, so job is nothing but a script. Whatever the script you written on the job, right, that will connect to the server and will execute the whatever the steps in the script, guys. That will do the
Okay. Yeah, sir, one more thing here. Like he's saying his project in ASP.NET in a
yeah.
framework.
Yes.
So that's for the Azure deployment,
Yeah, you can.
ASP.NET framework.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
No old web
Okay. Monolithic. So mono in the monolithic application, it will Azure that Azure ADO will not support it. So ADI will not support it. That microservices will support that ADA.
No. It's not this question. So he's saying his project in ASP.NET. So is that possible to deploy in the Azure? So my project in .NET Core MVC. So
Azure Cloud, or how you are
yeah.
asking it? Azure
Cloud. Human project also they can deploy in
Azure Cloud.
That is not related
Okay.
to
Yeah.
Azure.
Thanks.
Yeah.
My
So
voice is
Gautam.
audible. Can you hear my voice?
Yes. Hearing.
The point is, cloud is but not for .NET. .NET application.
Cloud.
Deploy in AWS.
Cloud
Not
is
for microservices.
cloud is like a data center, guys. So you already know about the data center. How so where you
That
can
is why
deploy.
today there is a good demand for hybrid cloud. All applications, microservices are not available in same cloud environment. Some service will be in AWS, some are in GCP,
Yeah.
some are in Azure. Communication pipeline setup is very flexible and comfortable nowadays.
So
Okay,
Azure
thanks, sir.
dashboard. Yeah. Azure cloud. So you want you are asking about the Azure cloud or Azure DevOps.
No, he's asking ASP.NET application. I have one web application where that application can be developed in .NET or Java or Django or HTML, whatever it may be. You can deploy that application cloud. That cloud may be Azure or
whatever the
AWS or
cloud you
anything.
can deploy it. Nowadays, AWS also support the.
But mostly as .NET is product of Microsoft and Azure is also product of Microsoft, we'll prefer what? Azure.
Same like as if you took the Atlassian Jira, so you can easily integrate with Jira Bitbucket and the Confluences, right? So they are that tools comes under one company, so it will be very easy to integrate it, guys. The same like as ASP.NET from Microsoft, Azure Cloud from Microsoft, right? It will be very easy to deploy the code in the Azure ASP.NET into the Azure Cloud. So we can deploy it Azure
I
Cloud.
think CI/CD will not work for ASP.NET application. Na?
Which product?
CI/CD will not work with old web applications.
It will work.
Yes, it works.
It works.
It will work.
So whatever CI/CD is the nothing but we can whatever we manually done that, right? So we are doing the automation in the CI/CD only. So whatever the application, the monolithic or microservices, you can use that CI/CD and we can deploy it, guys. So what CI/CD, continuous integration and continuous deployment, whatever we are deploying through manually before in the waterfall methodology, now once the Agile methodology comes into the picture, right, the automation comes into the picture. So they are integrated the CI/CD through the automation.
Yeah, thanks, sir. So do we have the class at 5 p.m. today?
Yeah, 5 p.m. we'll have the session, that microservices. I'll update you. Anyway, session will be there.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
So much. Thanks for joining.
Bye.